Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Access to access the database. That is the database management system. In order to manage that access is there, Microsoft Access. In Microsoft Word is used as in order to make any document. If suppose you have to make your resume, your biodata, your CV, okay. When we are talking software is what? Can anybody tell me? What is the software itself?
We cannot touch it.
We cannot touch it. That is the one thing. Another
Collection of programs.
collection of programs. Yes. What do you understand by the program? If suppose I am writing some program of C language, that means what?
Step-by-step instructions given to computer.
That is the step-by-step instructions written in editor, and that is given to computer through different editors. If suppose I have to write that program, where I am writing that program? I am writing that program in the editor or in compiler. Okay. Compilers work it different. Editors work it different. All these editors, compilers, linker, operating system, device drivers, utility programs, these are called as system software. But basically we must know that what is the program itself. Then collection of program is called as software. Or I can say that software is a set of different programs and related data that are used to give instructions to the hardware. In other words, software directs and guides the operations. Either it may be input, it may be processing operations, it may be output operations of the computer. You cannot touch the software. Have you seen any time that somebody is touching the software? No, you can touch the hardware. You can feel the experience of hardware. The games you play on a computer, the music and video files that you play and listen on computer, the documents on which you work, most importantly, the operating system and environment in which you work on your computer system, all these are what? System software components or software components. Now software, when you divide that software is divided basically into two types. One is a system software, or you may call it as a system applications, and another is application software. Instead of system application, you just remember the name system software. System software is further divided into number of types. That is, one of them is operating system, language processor. If suppose you are writing program in C language, you are writing in C++, you are writing in Java, you are writing in C# or C#. So that language processors are there, editors are there, some linking programs are there, some programs you have to load from the main memory, some device drivers, some utility software, utility programs, service programs you may call it anyway. Service programs or utility softwares includes what? If suppose you have antivirus, what is the use of antivirus?
माभी रोल नंबर 3 से अन्ना माभी रोल नंबर 3 से
If I have to install antivirus, what is the use of antivirus? It is a utility software. Whatever the virus or whatever your computer or laptop is affected, then you have to install that antivirus software that will clean your computer. whatever the virus, whatever the infected files,
ऐकलंच
the
मॅडम
virus. Kumudini Tathod, please mute yourself. Click on the button. You're still unmuted. Mute yourself. Click on the button of audio in Zoom. So, system software comprises of that. One of them is operating system, another the different language processors, utility softwares, device drivers, linker, loader, compiler, interpreter, all that comes under the system software. Now application software. Application software means what? According to the need of the customer. Customer is customizing some package of software that is for its particular applications. Nowadays you are observing number of applications in Play Store. So these are the general purpose application software. Some are specific purpose application software. Okay. So first system software is what? Suppose it is an operating system. What is the use of operating system? If operating system is not installed, are you in a position to work with the computer? It is the basic building block on which your hardware can be made alive. Whatever hardware parts, if suppose you have to communicate with the help of keyboard, with the help of mouse, with the help of monitor, with the help of CPU, all these parts are completely interconnected with each other. All hardware parts you have to make alive. And who is making that hardware part live? Software. You have to install some program to run that device. Okay. So basically, operating system is what? It is one of the system software which is a mediator between you and your computer. Whatever instructions you have to give to the computer, you have to first of all install operating system in that. If operating system is not installed in your computer, not in your laptop, not in your mobile system, no system will work. So operating system is the most important software without which you cannot work on a computer. It is a software that lets you communicate with the computer. So that is the most important aspect of the operating system. You are able to give instructions and get your work done on the computer because of the operating system. A computer cannot run without an operating system. It serves an interface, mediator between user and the hardware. Now, what are the functions of operating system? What actually the operating system does? So there are n number of tasks that operating system follows, and one of them is what? Input and output management. It manages your input and output. It manages your memory, either with the primary memory or secondary memory. It manages your file that are stored on the hard disk of your computer. It manages the different resources. Whatever the resources that are connected to the periphery of the computer are called as a peripheral device. If suppose you have connected some printer, you have connected some scanner, if you have connected some different devices. Okay, so all these devices, all these resources are handled by operating system. Operating system handles the resource management. Operating system manages memory management. Operating system manages input and output. Operating system manages your file system management. Operating system manages the different functioning of the process. Then you may have a question in your mind that what is the program and what is the process. Okay. Can you just differentiate between the program or process? If suppose I say that, sir, program and process is same thing. No, it is not. Program is what? We are writing program. Whatever the executable code you are writing in a computer's editor. Okay. These are the executable codes that we are writing in the editor. So that step-by-step instructions given to computer in order to function it. So that instructions or step-by-step instructions are called as a program. Okay. So that program has to work on what? If suppose you have different programming language, either it may be Basic, Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, C, C++, VB, Java, JavaScript, or C#, C#, Python. All these languages, they are high-level language, but that is not understandable to computer. Computer understands what? Only language of zeros and one. कम्प्युटरला कुठली भाषा समजते फक्त शून्य आणि एक. मशीन लँग्वेजला काय म्हणतो आपण?
Binary.
That language is called as binary language. That language is also named as zeros and one language. That language is also called as a machine understandable language. So what happens in the first generation computer? First generation computers, it adopts only machine language. Whatever the programs, whatever the data you have to feed, you have to write or you have to just write in zeros and ones. Because it is not understanding any language. From second generation computer, we have different languages in the systems along with operating system. So operating system is what? It is a mediator between you and your computer. What does operating system does? Operating system manages the memory. Operating system manages your input and output. Input and output. Operating system manages your resources. Operating system manages your either primary memory or secondary memory. It is also managing your resources. It is also behind the supervision of different processes. So we are on the point of process and program. Program and process is not the same thing. If suppose I have written one program in C language, but unless and until that program is in an execution process, execution mode, then and then we can find output. Means simply writing a program. If suppose program is stored on my hard disk, program is stored in my pen drive, okay, that is still program. But program in execution, because in order to run that program, it requires compilers, somewhere it requires interpreters, somewhere it requires linkers, loader. You have to boot that program. Okay, so that system software is required. So program in execution is called as a process. Okay, that may be an input process, that may be an output process, that may be any process. In order to execute the process, it requires some input to be inputted from the input devices. Whatever you inputted, that to be stored to somewhere locations on the memory. Either it may be a primary memory or permanently say on the hard disk, On that saved data also, operating system can manage that files. It has to manage the different files. It has to manage the memory. It has to manage the input and output. It has to manage the process. So these are the tasks of operating system. You know that nowadays, what are the different operating systems? Either that may be of Windows, that may be of Linux, that may be of Mac operating system. Mac operating system कोणाची आहे बा? Either it may be Android, either it may be iOS. Have you heard the name of Apple company? Yes. Steve Jobs. Linux
અને
is a free
चुप बस ना અને
operating system.
चुप बस
It's
ना
open
मग
source.
अटी काय सांगू राहिले आम्हाले
Anybody
म्हणते
can
होय खाले
donate his or her source to that operating system. It is a free from license. Otherwise, other operating system like Windows, it is a proprietary of Microsoft. Mac is the proprietary of Apple. Android is the proprietary of Android कोणाची आहे?
Andy Rubin,
Huh?
Google,
No, but who is the owner of Android?
Andy Rubin,
So he is there, but he is actually the company. It is the product of
Google,
Okay. So next system software is language processor. Softwares are created by writing programs in computer language. There are many computer languages. A computer is an electronic machine and can only understand the machine language, which comprises of zeros and ones. A language processor is a software that translates or converts a computer program in a computer language that is a high-level language that to be converted into machine understandable code. The software that is converting that is called as a language processor. If suppose I am talking to you in which language?
English,
English. Is English has its rule? Or grammar?
Yes.
Every language has its grammar. Either it may be English, Marathi, Hindi,
आंडी
Urdu, Japanese, French,
आंडी
or whatever may be the language. There are 10,000 languages are there. Out of some are computer languages in our computer terminology. Whatever the languages, either from the era of BASIC or Pascal or Fortran or C, C++, Java, C hash, Python, VB, Visual. One second, wait for me. Somebody suppose understanding English. Okay. But suppose I'm talking in English and somebody is not in a position to understand it. So what is the use? I have to use one third person who can translate English into his understandable language or Marathi into his understandable language. So just like that, whatever the things, whatever the programs you're writing in computer, these are called as computer language. All these computer languages are in high level English like statements. They understand English like statements. but it has syntax. Just like English, suppose I am talking with you. I am talking with you. What is in that? It has subject, object, verb, adverb, adjective, noun, subnoun, whatever it may be. Okay. So it has its grammar. Without grammar, is it possible? If suppose I am talking with you, what name your is? Is it proper way of talking with you? Yeah? No. Because you have to use some grammatical rules. You have to follow that. Just like that, while writing program also, if you are not following that rules, and the rules to write that programming language, okay, basically that rules or protocols are called as syntax. If any error is there in that syntax, it will give you error. In computer terminology, that error is not called as error. It is called as bug. Bugs. There are different bugs are there. Okay? So these bugs can be found, can be rectified with the help of debuggers are there. So that debuggers, editors, compilers, translators, that interpreters, all these are the system softwares. Okay? So these are the things that you have to learn in that system software along with the utility software. So utility softwares may be a tips cleanup, antivirus software. These are the examples of that system software. Now, with the help of this application software is a set of programs designed to help users perform or to solve specific tasks. They may be installed on computer depending upon the user requirement. Different application softwares are available to serve the different purposes. Okay? Either it may be a general purpose, either it may be a special purpose or specific purpose. Okay, so general purpose application software, then word processing softwares, all these are the examples, and this is shown over here. Spreadsheet means Excel. Word is when you have to write something, the typing work. Qtile is the antivirus. Norton is also antivirus that can be installed on your computer system. Spreadsheet is Excel. Okay, all these are the database management system is Access or Oracle. If suppose you heard the name of Oracle or SQL, Oracle is the company that is famous for relational database management system. Have you heard the name of Java?
Yes.
Java कोणत्या कंपनीची आहे? Yes. Java is developed by a person who is from Indonesia. Have you heard the islands Java and Sumatra?
Yeah.
So that is basically developed from that area. Java was from Sun Microsystem, and it was first of all named as Coke. It is the name of coffee, but later on it is turned as Java. Then Java is under the proprietary of Sun Microsystems. But nowadays, Java is taken by Oracle. Now it is a product of Oracle. Okay? Remember that question may ask that who owns Java now? Java is taken by Oracle Corporation. That is famous in SQL data. That is relational database management system. And one of the reputed name is Oracle. Another is SQL. SQL servers are now available. Okay. All those are the SQL database. Okay. that is the relational database management system. So these are some examples of PTP publishing softwares. Then there are graphic softwares, there are multimedia software, presentation software, all with a specific purpose. Okay, so all that comes under your which software system? Application software. So system software and application. Are you getting or not? That is all about the software. Then we have to see about the different anatomy. When you see the anatomy, that means inside of these components of the computer. What is this? This is the in front of you. This is called as SMPS or power supply. आपण याला काय म्हणतो? SMPS. Switch mode power supply, SMPS. When you plug your power cable into your computer, you are actually plugging into a socket in the power supply. Actually, whatever the current that is coming from our plug that is in at our home or in office, that is 230 volt or 240 volt, that is AC. But actually that is not needed. How to convert that 240 volt AC to low voltage DC? Either it is a 3.3 volt plus 5 or minus 5 or 12 volt, because your motherboard requires somehow between 12 volt. Whatever your CD-ROM drive requires, suppose 5 volt. Another device that requires 3.2 volt. How that can be controlled or regulated with the help of SMPS. That is the switch mode power supply. Okay. So next is what? Where in the anatomy of computers, when you just go inside of the computer, you will see that power supply, monitors. What is basically known as screen, CRT. What is this? It has got different resolutions. Somebody says that my monitor is 640 by 800 by 600, 1024 by 768, 1280 by 1024. These are rows multiplied by columns, and these are the small picture elements. What are called the smallest picture element is called as pixel, on which your resolution is different. Okay, that is the intensity of your light. So monitors of different types. You have no CRT monitor, cathode ray tube, other are TFT, LED monitors. This is the motherboard. Why it is called as motherboard? Why it is not called as a motherboard? It is called as motherboard. Our meeting will end in 1 minute. You have to rejoin. Okay. Motherboard, why it is called so? Yes.
Every component in the computer connected.
Yes, who has given the answer? Yes. Every computer component is connected to it. Definitely it is exactly. That is the answer. That is given over here. That each and every connected. Every component is connected to that motherboard. On that motherboard, every IC is there. Your microprocessor is there. Your RAM is there. Your input-output connection. Whatever connections of your SMPS, power supply, ICs that are connected to that board. That is the main board. That's why it is called as motherboard. Each company is manufacturing different motherboards. Another is central processing unit. This is called as